You have the big gas. You know how to make a big flying guy that is friendly. Make me a big space whale.
Give me thing coming out of the void. Give me a reason why there's saddles and armor in the end. Why is that there? No one's using it. Did they all die? Or was it for space whales?
Give me eyes in the darkness that blink back.
Give me the void, and the void happy I'm being there, interacting with their whales.
Yeah, have the void make little chirping noises when you throw food down because it's excited to get a snack.
Sing to me, Talia, muse of tranquil poetry, of the translations, and the images told through words. Sing of the writing and the pixels that leave us alone with our imagination. Welcome to FanDive. My name is Chaos.
And my name is Mal, or Mallet.
So, Andy is still lost to the void.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
We haven't seen him in days.
It's so sad. Smallest violin is played. But that's what we get for putting a watcher on a podcast. But,
yeah.
We have a friend here
I'm here!
Yay!
I was on the DC DP, as in Danny Phantom crossover. That's where I first was, and now I'm here again.
Yeah, and then we went, you don't actually need to leave the Discord, and good thing we said that.
Yeah, I was like, do you guys just want me here as like a backup if something goes wrong? And they're like, maybe. And then I just kind of didn't leave, and they let me back in.
And then something went wrong. But today, we are talking about non-visual character designs and kind of how the fandom responds to that.
Like, how do we smoothly segue this? Non-visual character designs quite clearly start in like books and such, where pretty much all you have is like the cover art, and then everything else is just the words that they have on the pages.
Sometimes we don't even have that. You know those weird cover arts that are just like color block, title name, color block.
Yeah, that, or it'll be like a close-up of an eye, or like
a
sword or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I love the book that's just one color and some random text.
Mm-hmm. And then you get the character description of like, this person has a square face and knobbly knees. I'm like, how do you cosplay that? How do you art that?
Well, it's a lot easier to art it than to cosplay it, because you can be like, okay, let me look up what a square face looks like. But yeah, there's some good like book descriptions where it's like, oh yeah, no, his hair was like this length and this color, and his eyes were like sea green bottle glass. And then there's other ones where it's like, and like 4/3 through the book, all the way past the ending, it'll just be like, and by the way, her hair was green. You're like, what? Huh? Yeah.
I might be slightly guilty of that, because I'm like, I'm not really a visual learning person. I don't need to name what my characters look like. And then my people come and read my stuff, and they're like, I have no clue who this is.
Yeah, I'm like, I have the problem where I don't understand the facial descriptions people use. Like, he has a like square face and like he has eyes that are like sunken. I'm like, okay, I'm imagining a cartoon right now. I don't know what he looks like. So whenever it's like me describing, I'm like, okay, so hair is like shoulder length, and here's his clothes, and you know what? He's got some really nice shoes. They have some sturdy rubber soles, and then that's what you get. What does his face look like? I don't know. There was a character that I literally just described their hair, and I never described their face. And then I read through it again. I'm like, wait, what color are their eyes? And
Wait a minute.
Not a clue.
And then there's also that whole issue of like translating from like, I read this as one thing, but this other person reads it as another. And it's like, oh, there's this book series I really like called like Gideon the Ninth, or that's the first book. I don't know what the series is called. But like in the book, it's like, yeah, these two characters from the ninth house, which is, you know, our main characters, paint skulls on their face. It's like a religious thing. And I'm like, okay, so they have like white makeup that goes around the cheekbones and dips around their mouth. And like, I see cosplayers of that, and they do that thing where it's like black, like on all the parts with like the skull isn't depicted. And then they add like the neck thing down. And I'm like, that's not really, you know.
My first thought was like Day of the Dead.
Yeah, sugar skulls. Like that makes total logic sense to me.
And then my second thought was like those eyeliner stamps that you can get.
Oh, those would be so
just
cute.
Have the tiniest little skulls on their faces.
So cute.
Yeah, it's like, oh yes.
When the book says one thing, even if it's like super clear, there's tons of room for translation. And then we can open that up to Minecraft.
Woohoo.
Listen. We get pixels. Okay. Pixels of character description. What do we do with that?
Yeah, there's a lot like, sometimes there's things that'll help you out, like, a lot of famous Minecraft YouTubers, they'll have skins that are like, "Oh, that's for this random anime man," or something. But a lot
Kakashi.
of the times, you're just kinda staring at it, and you just have to use your pattern recognition and be like, "Huh, that looks like a dog, I think, but it could be literally any other canine." And you have to figure out kind of what to do with that, as well as just how to determine, "That's not just a man in an orange jumpsuit, that is Korean."
And then all the different ways like eyes are done. It's like, yeah, I have my character with like black spots under the eyes. I'm like, is that sports black makeup? Is that like smoky eyeshadow makeup? Like, how am I interpreting this in pixel form?
It's like the dilemma. There's this debate of what the Minecraft dog's eyes look like.
They look like
Some people think it
doggos.
is some people think it is a single black dot with a little white I'm talking about, like, the classic white
Oh,
Minecraft dog, now
yeah.
they got new ones. Like a single black dot with a little white border. Some think it's like the little flat rectangular eyes with a white eyebrow, and some think that it's, like, kinda like sad slanted down eyes. Because, like, to describe what the Minecraft dog kind of looks like, you have a white pixel, beneath it a black pixel, and then to the side of the black pixel, another white pixel. So there's, like, 3 different interpretations of what that looks like based on I know there's an image of it somewhere, but based on that. So even with the pixels, there's, like, different interpretations of what it looks like on the most basic forms.
Listen, listen. We all have our own imagination. And sometimes your imagination is wrong.
Everything is right until they tell you it's wrong. Yeah, I think the Minecraft movie was like, "Oh, yeah, no, it's just a little, like, 2 by 2 eyes with a white eyebrow on top." I disagree. It
Mm.
is all 3 of the whites are the eyes, and they just look a little sad, and I think that that's a good thing. There are dogs in the background,
The
sorry.
dogs are here for the dog conversation. They're agreeing with you. It's the 3 pixel eye.
Yes, exactly. Circling back for a minute, we were talking about, like, specifically like, determining, "Hey, this is a costume and not just an outfit," because that was a big issue with a lot of the Minecraft YouTubers you see, like, here's a dude in a suit. Here's a dude in a jumper, because I said jumpsuit last time. Uh, here's a dude in, like, I don't know, a red t-shirt. Here's a girl in a jean jacket, and you're like, "Okay, these are just regular people you'd see on the street, maybe with a bit more color." So, cosplayers had to get creative, and fan artists had to get creative and start adding elements to kind of distinguish between them. And I think one of the first instances of this was giving Phil's Minecraft wings.
His name is Philza. Philza Minecraft. Yes, that I think I brought this up before. The whole wing situation was purely like a fan headcanon. This was really before like giving Minecrafters wings was super popular. Like you would see it with Grian back during like chicken wing era, but it wasn't as
Mhm.
widespread until someone donated and told Philza, "Hey, I like to draw your character with crow wings," which it's the fandom's a little weird about telling content creators your headcanons. Some people are super against it, some people are totally fine with it. But the thing with this situation is Philza agreed and said, yeah, that totally makes sense. And so that led a big unification of like, no, yeah, Philza totally has crow wings, and you lost all the other like interpretations of that character.
Which is another thing with non-visual character design, is that once one is picked as canon, all the other ones kind of fade away. I think one key example of this is Jonathan Sims from the Magnus Archives. There is a very set idea of what he looks like. You Google his fan art, you are getting the same man over and over and over again. Less so for Martin, but it is very much like they picked a design, and that was the design, and that's what it became.
Oh, I remember my Night Vale days. Welcome to Night Vale. See, I was in the fandom back when it first started really getting fan art on Tumblr, which I love Tumblr. Hello, yes. There was this like pattern for a while where it's all like this white dude with blonde hair and 3 purple eyes, and it got to the point where someone called it out of like, hey, given every other character description we've ever gotten of Night Vale, Cecil would not be white. Like, why do we keep drawing him as white? And then that led to a whole revolution of like, now 99% of the time you see Cecil as a black man. And I am like, we did a 180 in this fandom, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Really quickly, in the what's the photo channel? I don't know. In the general channel,
Sure.
I'm gonna send you fan art of Jonathan Sims. And I can tell you, some of these are based on what season, because people went back and drew season 1, season 2, season 3, Jonathan, as the same, like, look. So, he is consistently he consistently looks like that if you're looking at the images.
Oh yeah, I
With,
know a
like, the
cosplayer who does that guy.
yeah, they all the fan art looks a lot the same. There are some that are still variant, but it tends to be pretty solid. Martin tends to have a pretty solid design as well. The main difference is hair color. There is a big it's a big debate, but there are if you ask different Magnus Archives fans, they will have different opinions on what color Martin Blackwood's hair is.
See, I hear the word Martin and I think Martin in the little word, so I'm like, of course he's gonna be blonde, right?
Yeah. Another one that's like a really oddly specific one. Sometimes it's not even big elements of design. Tommy in its Minecraft skin does not have a bandana. Everyone has decided that he does.
Yeah, where did that even come from? I'm trying to think.
That I think that the saddest animatics were one of the first instances of the bandana,
That, yeah,
and then
no,
it just stayed,
actually.
or at least one of the first popular instances of it.
Mm-hmm. And it's just a touch to break up between the really pale skin and the really white shirt. And it's like, and then people started tying into Tubbo's like design. It's like they both have bandanas, right? I'm like, neither have bandanas.
We can talk for a minute about Tubbo's design, because you look at his Minecraft skin,
Oh,
and then you
let's
look at the
talk
fan
about
art.
Tubbo. So,
There's such a
Tubbo,
discrepancy.
Tubbo's Minecraft skin is a dude from South Park. And everyone went, there can't be two blonde children on the server. And Tubbo, the content creator, doesn't have blonde hair. So everyone immediately went, okay, so we're just going to color over that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
And
it
then
was, it's like, okay, he's wearing a green shirt, but no, he's a president now. He wears a suit, which he did change his Minecraft skin for. And then when, he's moving to a cold, wintry area, it's now a green puffy jacket. It's now a
there were
jacket.
a couple other things in that.
Yeah.
One was, he had a relation to Schlatt. We're gonna make him part goat,
Oh,
because Schlatt was part goat.
okay, no, but there's a whole story there. So it wasn't just like, oh, Schlatt may or may not be his father, because yeah, that was a fun joke to make. But it really came down to during the presidency arc of like Tubbo's like, I don't want to be like Schlatt. I don't want to follow in his footsteps. But what if Tubbo started growing goat horns like Schlatt had? And then there was this whole panic of like, I can't be like him, but every time I look in the mirror, I see his horns. So it was a whole
There's that.
angsty thing.
And then there was the fact that his character was hit with fireworks. And there is sometimes a thing you'll see in the Minecraft community where permanent deaths or temporary deaths will leave a scar on the characters. So they gave him a big firework explosion scar on one half of his face.
And we just kept adding more details. And then we changed one of his eyes to be a nuclear warning sign. And it was good. And it was cool. But he still looks like that South Park character.
Yeah, well, he's still in the green. I think
He's still
well, his Minecraft skin hasn't changed.
His top is still green. Yeah.
Yeah, some elements stayed. Yeah, he's kind of a key example of that. Because there's like kind of what ended up happening is right around 2020, a lot of new people got into cosplay, and a lot of them wanted their cosplays to look unique and different from other cosplayers. So in fandoms like Danganronpa, they started adding like butterfly hair clips or petticoats or like vines around parts of themselves or in the hair of the characters. They
And
started
to
doing
be fair,
crazier makeup.
Danganronpa was a very heavy, like, visual aesthetic design. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, it wasn't like, yes, generic man number 5. No, these were very unique character designs. But that started happening, as well as just kind of makeup experimentation blowing up in the 2020s. Um, and then that kind of just spread in the giant web of fandoms that existed. So
Yeah, we had the Danganronpa go into the Thomas Sanders go into the MCYT, and you can kind of see this thread of like, oh, do you do that beaded pin work in Danganronpa? Oh, Andy at one point said like the white eyeshadow in like the sad parts of your
yeah,
eyes, like that really sprung up in Thomas Sanders fandom.
yeah, because it's like because Accessorize hiatus was happening right around the time of Unis Anna's ending. That's happening right around the time of something else, and that led right into the ramp up of the Dream SMP. So they kind of, all those fandoms kind of started joining in the Dream SMP fandom, or the cosplay stuff kind of started happening in there, and they all branched out from there. Um, so then people went off into Hermitcraft and the Life series, and people went off into Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and like people went off into like Night Vale or went off into the Magnus archives.
Oh, Night Vale was love Night Vale. It was not really popping off in 2020.
Yeah, it wasn't really popping off, but like some of the Night Vale and the Magnus archives people did kind of end up joining that giant fandom ramp up, I'd say. And because like when you're following the cosplay tag on TikTok, you're not just going to get cosplays from fandoms you know, you're going to get a lot from fandoms you don't. So, you're like scrolling through and you're seeing like Junko posing was common at the time. Junko? So like, you'll see these Junko posing videos come up and you're like, oh, that person's got some like really cool accessories. So you kind of started accessorizing your own cosplays because that's what you saw everyone else doing. And so the accessorizing just kind of spread.
And also, I don't know how much I can really talk about wig work without like the visual aid, but so much
Yeah.
of like what has been a trend in cosplay recently has been wig work again. There's a lot of like extreme wig, helmet making, all the
Paper wigs.
the paper wigs, and then the crimping and the pressing and the foam work and all this insane stuff. It's like, yeah, even if visually you're pulling the same character design and the same silhouette, fundamentally what is making up your costume is completely different. And so we can have like an actual, like, I'm pulling from this Broadway actor, and I'm like, the way you're doing this is so different point to point. It's insane.
Can I mention like a specific mutual of mine in the context of accessorizing characters?
I mean, you have to drop the link, but yeah.
Yeah. So Inu Dog or Insanity Dog is one of my mutuals, and they have a lot of very accessorized costumes. One of the key ones is their Grian. I don't know if their current Grian has this, but the Grian that I saw around the time that we started becoming mutuals had post-it notes all over the wings, had a waffle bandana tied around their head, had like dual eye contacts with different colors in them, had like Mumbo for Mayor pins and like Minecraft grass block pins and all type of stuff all over their sweater. So it was just a whole bunch of different details all at once, which some of those are references to like pretty obscure things. You compare the like the character and the costume side by side, and you can still see the character in there, but there's so many details around it.
It's pulling from the lore of the character more than the character design.
Yeah, and I admire Unidog so much. Unidog, if you see this, I love you.
Yeah, and then there's also, it's like, what do you do when the character design is just frankly plain? Like, I love Grian. That's a guy in the red sweater. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Or,
I've cosplayed that version of him where it's a guy in a red sweater, but slowly I'm like, this visually looks boring. Let's add a necklace. Let's add wings. Let's add a shoulder thing. Like, you just visually, when you're presented with so little and sometimes nothing, you have to give it something.
Yeah, the thing that I did for mine was I bought a face mask that was like flesh toned, and then I used a foundation over it to match myself. And then I hid the little straps for it in my hair, on my wig, so that I was mimicking his no mouth look. My Grian doesn't have a mouth. It was a really fun thing to do.
God, if
But-
I could do contacts, I so want to give my Grian just pit black eyes. He
Ooh,
said he has no eyeballs, so I'm gonna give him no eyeballs.
Yeah, because like there's that Mumbo is just a guy in a suit, Schlatt is just a guy in a suit.
XB Crafted, a guy in the suit. Vintage Beef, sometimes a guy in the suit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a
Dog is a guy in a t-shirt.
I think it was like week 1 or maybe week 2 or something where it's like, yeah, here's a picture from one of B-Dub's court trials, and it was just like the 3 of them standing there in identical suits.
Yeah. On the other hand, Joe Hills, what he's currently doing.
Joe Hills.
He's a puppet right now.
He's a juppet right now. That one person who is like crocheting a hermitcraft blanket, and it's like human face, human face, human face, bright blue juppet, human face, zombie Cleo, human face.
Yeah. I know when I did my Joe, I went off the rails with my Joe Hill costume. which is because I was using references of Joe Hill content. I had little like Tumblr check marks on my cheeks to mimic the Tumblr sexy man competition, which is a whole other thing.
We don't have time to
I
unpack
had
all of that.
all of that. I had a black and white dress shirt that I had pulled over to represent Beetlejuice. I had a blue T-shirt with a green tank top over top, and then I had green heart sunglasses, a little fake beard that I loved, and that was the look. I had a worm on a string that was my prop. I had a big, colorful rainbow background, and that was my Joe Hills. Which does not really look.
Yeah, see, meanwhile, I'm making a whole puppet for my Joe Hills cosplay because I'm like, I don't feel like doing body paint because I'm like,
I have a puppet that I'm making. He's just not
I'll
done.
just make a puppet. It's not turning out super great, but I've never made a puppet before, so it's a learning process.
Yeah.
Oh, I just realized something completely that we skipped over. I'm gonna tread my thoughts through this. So, right, we're talking about green cosplay. We're talking about, he kind of looks like a guy in a red shirt, right? But like he has other skin variations, and I'm in a may or may not be secret a cosplay group that has a lot of Grians in it, and we all have some Grian content coming out soon.
Oh.
We were totally had to tell you get nothing from that. And we were all like talking about different versions of Grian that we all have, and someone's like, yeah, do any of us have Link Grian? Because one of his very first Minecraft skins, in fact, the version of him that you see on Winecraft, which is like freaking love Winecraft, is him.
Early days of the Watcher SMP or Evo SMP.
One of these days we're going to talk about Winecraft, and then we could talk about like life series Watcher stuff. But that's whatever.
Okay.
Right?
Stay calm. Stay calm.
Stay calm. He dresses up like Link for a while. He dresses up like Link in Minecraft. He dresses up like Link in Evo SMP. And I'm thinking, right? Oh, how do we make that different from normal Link cosplays? And then it hit me when he made that cosplay. That was probably before we really had a good visual of what Link, like modern day Link, looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, we had box art, yeah, we had manga, yeah, we have all this, that, and the other thing. But like when you think of Link nowadays, it's so fundamentally different than like the green cap guy that like Grian was pulling from.
It's well, because he's kind of had the green cap for a while. Like Breath of the Wild was like, what?
Yeah, true.
Hey, my cat just jumped into my lap. Hello.
When did what's it call it?
Breath of the Wild?
No, not Breath of the Wild. I know Breath of the Wild. The angsty teenage one, the wolf one.
Wind Waker? No, that's not Wind Waker. What's that called? Twilight Princess. I don't know Zelda.
When did Twilight Princess come out? I feel like
Twilight Princess came out in 2006.
Yeah, okay, so that would have been like the main reference point for when Grian was making that Minecraft skin.
Also, Minecraft is also my birthday. May 17th is when Minecraft was released.
Birth.
Minecraft is... Hang on, let me do numbers. What's 2009? How old is 2009?
It's 14.
Minecraft is 14 years old today.
Oh,
I'm also revealing the day this was recorded on. I'm outing you on how long it takes to edit.
So it has to come out Monday morning, so I'm getting it done. I don't have a backup. Andy dipped and I was left up the creek.
Yeah, I'm now the backup for now.
And it's a birthday.
It's a birthday.
It's a birthday.
It's a birthday.
It's a birthday. So let's see. We talked about video games, kind of. 8 pixel. You know what? Yeah. You got 8 to 16 pixels. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, because like when it comes to like older 8-bit games, like the only thing you really had to go off of was box art or like Pokemon cards. That was pretty much all you had. Like if they had a outside media that wasn't part of the game, that was what you had for your reference. And one of the fun things about non-visual character design when it comes to this lack of references is that it really invites the like anyone can cosplay part of cosplay, because unfortunately there are issues within the cosplay community of people thinking that you need to have a specific body type or be a specific race to cosplay specific characters. that does exist. That is a problem in the community. But when it comes to non-visual designs or designs with really limited details, they can't be like, well, your nose shape isn't right to cosplay Grian. It's like, Grian doesn't have a nose. What are you talking about?
You're right. I have a nose. Should I not cosplay Grian?
Yeah. Like, oh, like, you're too tall, you're too short, they're all 2 blocks tall, it's fine. Because anyone can cosplay. Anyone can. There are people who don't think that way. And it's a lot harder to not think that way when there is no canonical way that any of the characters look.
So what you're saying is that we should all get together and cosplay Cecil from Welcome to Night Vale.
Yes. I was once dressed as the Beholding at a con, and I saw a Cecil, and we walked by each other, and it just felt like the Spider-Man meme, but like across dimensions.
One time I went to a convention as a Girl Scout from Welcome to Night Vale, and I had turned an umbrella I had into the glow cloud. And I was the most powerful person in the room, and nobody knew who I was.
Meanwhile, I cosplayed Secret Life Scar to a convention, and every single vendor was like, oh, are you cosplaying an OC? I'm like, no, I'm cosplaying a Minecraft man.
The one time I went as a wandering trader to a convention, and I was like talking to a person, and they're like, I was buying Minecraft art from them, and they're like, oh, are you cosplaying from Fallout? And I'm like, no, I'm cosplaying from Minecraft. I'm the wandering trader. Please. I'm actively buying Minecraft art from you. You should know what this guy looks like.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, I have a story to share. The first time I went to a convention, when I was like old enough to be conscious and remember it, was in 2021, I want to say. And I was really nervous to go. I was only going for one day. I was dressed as Phil's in Minecraft with 3-foot wide wings. And they were folded. They were huge. I was really nervous. My hat was made of like a white hat that I had like duct taped over with green. It was not great, but that hat is still in use by other cosplayers. But I was waiting for my friends to show up, and I was really, really nervous. And I just hear these footsteps thundering in my direction, and I see a Technoblade and a Tommy, and they're going, we saw you from the 3rd floor!
Oh, dude, the day I met Camly Games, a wonderful human being, me and Chaotic Saturn were like on the 3rd floor of a convention hall. We were in this like outside patio area. And from the window on floor 5, we could see people pressed up against the glass, staring at us, banging on the glass, pointing at us, and trying to say something. Keep in mind, we were outside, and they were 2 floors up, could not hear. And then eventually we go back inside, and we just hear a stampede down the stairs. And it was Minecraft cosplayers, and they dragged us upstairs because there was an unofficial Minecraft meetup happening. And that's how I met Camly. But yeah, that day I was cosplaying. I was cosplaying Codfather Jimmy, and like completely changed his character design. But everyone knew who I was because the Codfather lives in all of us.
I have. There's been a couple like unofficial Minecraft meetups that I've gone to. Most of the time, I'm like running a spreadsheet for a group of like 10 to 20 cosplayers all at once, and I'll just see a list of names, and I'll just know deep down in my heart that none of these guys will look the same. We once had, I think it was an 8-person Quackity takeover.
Oh.
Where there were so many different Quackities. I had like a poker chip over my eye. There were some that were in the classic beanie look. There were some in a suit. It was interesting. It was fun. But also, none of us really looked the same. Like, if you looked at us in a group, you could be like, oh, maybe they're like, it's like when you're like designing like triplets really lazily in a piece of media, and you're like, oh, they look pretty much the same, but like, this one's in a slightly different outfit, and this one's in a slightly different outfit. That's kind of what it looked like.
I'm trying to think of like all the Jimmy cosplayers and all the Grian cosplayers standing next to each other. At what point does the line become like you can't tell where the Jimmys end and the Grians begin?
It's somewhere on the wigs. Because I used my Grian wig for a tango, and I got multiple comments of people thinking it was a Grian.
Yeah, I love my blue hair. I can't wait to cut it back to brown so I can cosplay Grian again without a wig. Yeah. I do not like the wigs I use for Grian. None of them look right.
I have not cosplayed in, I want to say 2 years, because I've been growing out my hair to shave it for a special event. Because of that, I haven't been able to do any of my costumes, because all my costumes use my regular hair. So it just my cosplay setup's just been like gathering dust.
Yeah, I need to change my cosplay setup, but that's a what, we're so off topic at this point. We just need to move into the
Anyway, yes.
Q&A.
Are we not we're not bringing up the anything else?
Is there more to say? We've been talking for
I'd
30
say
minutes.
I'm gonna throw in one last little point, which is we talked an awful lot about Minecraft YouTubers. Cartoons.
Oh,
Cartoons
cartoons.
started getting this, as well as just completely inhuman characters. The example I want to bring up is Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The other one I want to bring up is Lego Monkey Kid.
Ah,
These two shows have humans that are humans or like humanoid characters that are harder to translate, and so people took a lot more creative liberties to make these characters look the way that they want them to.
see, I think
Um,
the solution to both of those is furry, but I think I've just been hanging out with all the furries recently.
I mean, fair enough. There are official Rise of the TMNT mascot costumes that look super cool, but for the average person, what you'll see if you look up Rise of the TMNT costume on TikTok or whatever, you're gonna see people who did not paint their faces green because that's a lot of work, but they will just paint the masks on, and then they will have like some type of short sleeve shirt more frequently. I've seen a lot of black sleeveless turtlenecks, and then they'll have like patterns drawn on their arms or something, and they'll have the colors brought in. I know that my Donatello had black gloves and this like light purple dress shirt with this black vest, and I did the he's got a mask that goes over his entire head, like up like from the eyes, forehead, if that makes sense, not just the
Mm-hmm.
little ninja mask. And that was my Donatello costume.
Adorable.
But a lot of the details of like a lot of stuff I learned from non-visual character design in the Minecraft community, I was like, okay, I need to represent like an aspect of him without just being like, ah, yes, I painted myself green to be a turtle. So I kind of had to take to note those things. But yeah. Anyway, we can now go on to the Q&A so
Now
we
we can
don't
go.
have another hour-long episode.
Well, you know.
Ba-da-ba-da, da-da-da-da-da. That's your musical noise.
Question number 1 comes from Anonymous on Tumblr. Hey, by the way, if you would like to ask us questions outside of the comment section, you can use Tumblr and remain anonymous. The question is, are there any OC designs you want to go back to and revamp going forward?
In general,
Yeah, in general.
so many. I used to make OCs like a machine. I don't really do it anymore. I've made some because I'm working on a little animated pilot thingy. I'd say if I had to pick one, I had this like um really basic like OC that was literally just a girl in like cat headphones, and I would draw her all over my notebooks. Her name was Swift, and I first made her in like one of the old gotcha games. But I haven't drawn her in so long. I would love to revamp her and see kind of what she's become and if she has more personality than just like standing there.
See, when I pulled this question, my mind immediately went to my OC Ari. There, once upon a time, back when like TikTok OC trend was like super popular, Ari was a part of Twisted Carnival, or I'm pretty sure it's called Twisted Carnival. It was some sort of like interactive, like a cosplay thing where it's like, oh, the setting is like a really creepy carnival and it was like super bouncy and fun. And Ari just had a really basic design. Like I did things with the hair and the hat and the makeup that I thought were cool, but her clothing was just like a black button up. And I would love to go back to that and like spruce it up of like, oh, a black lace frilly shirt with maybe like a corset and beading, and like she was meant to be a medium, like she had spirits actively possess her, and I gave her a black button up. Like, come on.
I get the feeling.
I mean, like, there's also like, oh, I could go touch my Harry Potter OC again because I love the story I made for her, but like, that feels icky right now. And like, oh, I could touch my like superhero or space traveling one, but I don't have attachments to those anymore. Like, I told their stories, I'm done. Ari?
I had a My Hero Academia
Oh, the
teacher
My Hero
OC.
Academia? Yeah. See, no, I turned my My Hero Academia OC into my Minecraft character, so I'm good there.
I see. I turned my I used to have one of my old OCs as my Minecraft skin, but I kept getting mistaken for a Homestuck fan because their skin was gray. So
Yeah. Yeah, that would
I
happen.
switched that. Yeah. Their name was Aster. It was a very, very interesting
Oh yeah, no,
plot line.
that's gonna get caught up in Homestuck. Give it to Homestuck for not being very detailed. They had that aesthetic.
I've never participated in the Homestuck fandom. I'm a little scared to try.
I kept like, oh, like Homestuck was like the neighboring fandom to the one I was in at that time, and I'm like, I kept trying to get into it and not understanding it. I'm like, okay, that's for someone else.
I've had like 6 or 7 Homestuck fans be like, "Please read it." I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know how. I don't understand what's going on.
Anyway, you were saying something about Euroc before I cut you off.
I'm thinking about her again, and I might go get a black Philly shirt. If I see one at a thrift store, it's over for you guys. All right. Question number 2 from Byblob. Question: do you like boba? And if so, what milk tea do you get it with?
Ooh, I'm a very texture sensitive person. I don't like most textures. I don't like boba.
Yeah.
It's just on the side of wrong
I
for me.
really don't like the boba tapioca pearls, and I don't understand why people like them. You're
I
you're
think
drinking and they
correct.
shoot into your mouth, and then they're weird when you bite them. Mm-mm.
Yeah, they're like if gushers were sad.
Oh my god, dude, I
I'd
had a
say
gusher the other day, and it's not what I remember, and it made me so upset.
yeah, I'd say that, like, when I go to my friends like to go to boba shops, and when they do go, if they have, like, a little cookies and cream, little blendable guy, I'll get one of those. Those are good, as long as they don't have the pearls in them.
See, I love milk tea. I really do. Dude, if you ever have a chance to have Thai tea, heads up, it's really sweet and really creamy because you're supposed to drink it with like spicy food. But Thai tea
Mhm.
is delicious.
I've never been a tea person, and I get really, really nauseous with sweet things, so
So you would
I'll
know.
give it a
How about
try
you
once.
don't have Thai tea?
Yeah.
You should try a really spicy chai then. You might like a really spicy chai with the milk and the cream and like no sugar.
I'll give it a shot one of these days.
Yeah. Oh my God. I've been trying. I swear, like every place I've gone to get a good chai has changed what their chai is recently because it keeps getting sweeter and sweeter. I'm like, no, I want spicy chai. I've asked for spicy chai, and they never give me spicy chai.
It is a personal vendetta for you.
Actively causing malicious intent. Okay. Question number 3. This is from a person. Do you count real and simple life as real? Do you count the winners, Scott and Cleo? Or just give me your take on that.
I count like, are we talking lore wise or like as far as the official winners?
It just, I'm guessing like
Give
when
me
they
the
say, do
take.
you count real and simple life as real? I'm thinking like, do you count that as canon?
I'd say I count it as canon the same way that like optional beach episodes are canon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, sure, sure. You know what? Yeah, they're having fun. I'll count it as canon. I'd say they count as winners just because they did win, and
They
I
did
think that
win.
that is something that you should respect. Yeah, like if I was in that and then I got discounted as winning because my like the game I was in wasn't real, I'd be like, hey man, I won fair and square. You know, we had a little short session. I think that still counts. As
Yeah.
far as like lore wise, I'd count it as a multiverse. That's where I'd put that.
Well, so according to Martin, which Martin has said that his eyes and ears at you only counts to him and no one else. However, the fandom does love it. According to Martin, the April Fool's Day ones, the real life, the simple life, they count as games because we're constantly having games be played and we only see some of them. Like between Third Life and Last Life, there could have been 20 different games played and we didn't see any of them. And those could have been something as like really short as real life or simple life. Maybe everyone has one so far and we just haven't seen it. So in terms of the lore, real life and simple life are canon to the Watcher AU, but in terms of like the cool epic fan art of like the glass portraits and the tarot cards, I wouldn't expect to see Cleo included unless it's like a sticky note with Cleo in a jester hat in the corner.
It's a little funny. I want to see the really cool like completed arts counting them. I think what could be fun if they wanted to do that was to kind of like change something about the saturation or the way it is constructed to kind of connotate that it is a different win, but it is still a win. And if anyone out there is currently working on a stained glass art piece of one of these guys, make the next one in construction. I want to see one that has the next slot in construction.
That would be so pretty. Now, Grian was teasing a new life series, and I don't think it's going to happen this week, but I do feel like it's coming up because we are in that time frame. And I'm like, just let Cleo win this one. Make that win official.
Yeah, you're holding out hope for a Cleo win.
I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope for a Lizzie win. I'm holding out hope for a Jimmy win. I'm holding out hope for Ollie to join and then win and then never joining again. Like, I want
Skiz to win.
I want to hope for Skiz to win. Like, here's the deal. We're so off topic, and there's no more questions to ask, so I'm just gonna keep talking. During Wildlife, I was like, I really want Impulse to win because I really want Impulse to have the comet or the meteor or something with the eye symbolism, right? And then Smallish Beans won. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it's a card that's a comet. And I'm like, no, the comet's supposed to be Impulse. But then people started talking of like, do we really need to keep doing celestial bodies? What if we do the tarot cards? And I love the tarot card idea. Yes, give Joel the chariot card this second.
Yeah, okay. I have a question for you now.
Me now?
Yes. What Minecraft mob do you think would benefit the most from a sprite redesign? Because we've got new dogs. We have, I believe there were like new sheep and new pigs and new cattle that were thrown around. I don't know if those officially got in. But like,
they did.
What mob do you think? They did. Well, we have new of those. What mob should they redo next?
Oh. I'm trying to think of like what mobs don't look like they still exist in the same game as all these new guys do.
I mean, there's also the pixel inconsistencies with some of these, like the gas and the.
They fixed the gas though. I mean, the ocelots could use an update, but no one cares about the ocelots. The cats their cats are fine.
What would you like creeper variants?
No, I mean, unless it's going to be variants to match like. There was this one mod that I used. It was like a stone creeper for a stony shores biome or a mountainous biome or something. Like that would be cool, but that would also like bog down the game a bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the creeper is like one of the most iconic mobs.
Yeah, we don't want to mess with that. The pufferfish kind of looks out of date, I guess. We could update the pufferfish.
What about Enderman variants?
I love Enderman. I would love for them to bring back, there was like, I don't even know if like this made it past like concept art, but like the white Enderman, because I feel like there's so much lore behind that. Like we could do something with that.
Cave spider, regular spider?
I feel like we could get rid of one of the spider variants or make it an optional mob that you don't have to see because so many people can't play Minecraft because of the spiders.
Mm-hmm. What about slimes?
I love slimes. I mean, maybe Endermite, but you almost never see them. You know, if Endermite and Silverfish had some sort of like compatible design, I might really be into that. But I don't think that's like calling for a redesign, you know?
Yeah. What about like, I think the parrots are fine.
I like.
What about like other birds? Crows? I want to see a pigeon.
If they could add more like flying animals, that would be great because I feel like that's really lacking in the game. But then that could again, like, I'm trying to think of like if they could update that, but that would really bog down the game. Like so many passive loose flying mobs would. I don't know. I'm gonna say pufferfish need a redesign, and I'm gonna stick with that.
I think I would choose the creeper.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is such an iconic creature, but also if the skeletons have their strays and their whatever other one they have, and the zombies have their drowns and their husks, then I think the creeper should get one, or the enderman. However, also getting to see other colors of spider would be very freaky.
Yeah, if they could just change, like, you can barely tell the difference between cave spider and regular spider unless they're like standing next to each other. I'm like, you know, if you're gonna keep them, make them look different.
Can we get regular bears? We have polar bears. We have panda bears. Can we get regular bears? Can we get brown bears? Can we get black bears?
Black bears are such scaredy cats, so you're gonna walk up to them and they're gonna run away from you. Well, Mojang did once say that's like, oh, we don't want to add sharks to Minecraft because we don't want like hostile mobs that are real. And I'm like, you have silverfish. Silverfish are real. And it bugs me to this day. So, you
Polar
know.
bears are real.
Well,
And you
polar
pet them.
bears aren't hostile. They're neutral until you make them mad.
Yeah. The thing that kind of bothers me with modern Minecraft marketing is them being like, "Oh, we need realism. We need things to be realistic, you know? We can't include fireflies because the frogs will eat the fireflies, and then, like, they'll be poisoned and they'll die." And it's like, "What? Okay, you
You're a
have slimes.
video game.
Yeah, you're a
Be a
video game. Your
video
bees are as big
game.
as the head of a cow. Please."
I feel like on the one hand, they really have pushed like Minecraft as an educational tool. Minecraft is teaming up with this educational team. And it's like, I get they don't want to
Education
push
edition.
I get they don't want to push like a false narrative like sharks are violent and evil. But I do feel like there could be a conversation of like, then add them as a neutral mod. Like,
Yeah.
they don't have to be evil if that's the stance you're taking.
Give me a whale.
You're
not a whale.
Give me a space whale. Put space whales in the ends, please. I want
Yes.
space whales.
Give me space whales. Give me big creature. You have the big gas. You know how to make a big flying guy that is friendly. Make me a big space whale.
Give me thing coming out of the void. Give me a reason why there's saddles and armor in the ends. Why is that there? No one's using it. Did they all die? Or was it for space whales?
Give me eyes in the darkness that blink back.
Give me the void and the void happy I'm being there interacting with their whales.
Yeah, have the void make little chirping noises when you throw food down because it's excited to get a snack.
All right, well, I hope you all feed your void, and good night, my friends.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of FanDive. We'll be back again next Monday diving into yet another fandom. Have a topic or question for the podcast? Head over to our website, fandive.tumblr.com. There you can also find any episode relevant images and general shenanigans that we get up to. It is Tumblr, after all. We're not afraid of being fans of things.